where to channel it to, you might end up, using it in the wrong place. And so that is where it all started. So it started from the church and then outside, and then, it just became bigger, and then it birthed the book.
That is absolutely beautiful. And I mean, looking at the title of the book, Confused and Ambitious in One Breath.
Yeah.
How did you, end up with that title, and what inspired it?
I think I got the title the same day I started. So the book, I drafted everything in 2021, November.
Right.
And I remember I was sitting in a meeting, and I just, zoned out from everyone. And then I just started writing chapter 1, chapter 2. And so it stemmed out from my story, because you can be very ambitious but confused at the same time. I'm sure this is something that a lot of people, not only females, can relate, right? And I always tell the young girls that even people in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, they've still not figured it out yet. And so that was how come the title came up. You're confused, you're ambitious, but confused. And so how can you channel that confusion to make the ambition, realize the purpose that you want to achieve?
That is beautiful. I mean, looking back on my own younger days, I used to feel like I have potential. I didn't know where to start. I mean, what do you do after school? I'm schooling now. I have this dream of becoming this person, but how do I get there? When you meet young people, do you see that confusion on them? Can you decipher that these people are confused? And how does that feel for you as a woman?
Yeah, so when I meet a lot of young people, most of them, I think that it is something that also comes with the stage in life. Some people are lucky to come from families where they have learned people. Right. They have people that have gone through the ropes, so they can show them that, this is what you should do, that. Other people also, it's more like a blessing and a curse at the same time, because they come from a family where people know. They try to get these young people to live their dream, right, instead of encouraging them to live their dream. So you meet young people that come from good homes, average homes. Yes, they know what they want to do, but that is not what they want to do. Okay. And then you meet people that come from environments where they haven't even seen anyone achieve such heights. So they don't even dream of that. After high school, it's either I want to have a child, get married, get involved in, things that might not be part of the plan that they wish they could have. And so for us, our goal is to show them what the future can be. Show them who you can be. Because sometimes when you show people the opportunities out there, the possibilities out there, then maybe they can say, okay, I can dream higher than, and bigger than what I have. So when I meet them, I try not to shove my opinion down their throat. Wow. You ask more of leading questions that will get them to figure it out themselves. Like, okay, that is it. This is exactly what I want to do. Yeah.
Wow. And Paulina, do you think that our system, let's bring it to the Ghanaian context, do you think that our system is in some way limiting for young girls? Perhaps those, I don't want to put this in a box, but I think that in the Ghanaian culture, women are in a sense limited. Like, this how far you can go. This is what a woman should do. Go school, we are now, these things. And I feel like they're limiting, but you are bringing a whole turn to the narrative.
Yeah.
Right. So what if you had a young woman standing in front of you, perhaps in her teenage years up to like 20 something, and you had her standing in front of you, ambitious as your book says, but confused at the same time, what would you say to that girl?
So for me, when I meet a young girl, so in the book, one of the things that's, there are several quotes that comes with the book. One of the quotes I actually like is that your dreams can be delayed, but it's not deleted, right? And protecting your mind like a garden. You will not plant weeds into it, so why would you let other people? Wow. And so when I meet a young girl that is confused, like I said earlier, the first thing is not to shove your opinion down their throat. Right. First of all, you are confused. Why are you confused? You want to be a doctor. Why do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to do because you're passionate about helping people? Or maybe mommy and daddy says that, you have to be, or daddy is. Okay, auntie, I'm passionate about it and that is why I want to do it. Okay, do you know the courses or the things that you need to do to get there? Right. No, okay. So how does your grades look like? So you have conversations with them now. Okay, this is the goal. This is where we want to get to. But these are the little steps and roadblocks you need to cross to get there. And so in the book also, there's something that we talk about: decisions decide destiny. Okay. You don't wait till you are in uni to take those decisions, right? You take these little decisions, like I said, the foundation that would make you get there. So for me, when I meet young people, I'm not in a rush to let them know that I have maybe some knowledge or wisdom, but you draw them close. And I think from my experience, when you draw them closer and somewhat build a friendship with boundaries, they are able to open up and also explore. And one of the things that I will also encourage every young person is to explore. I said that in the book. When I was in high school, I did everything. I was in cadets. I was in drama club. I was in Jama. I was a prophet.
My God.
And there was a time where some of my friends would say, I'm doing too much. I'm a busybody. But when I traveled abroad, I actually realized that it was a good skill, because white people or people abroad encourage their children to do a lot of things when they are in high school. Today, they are skateboarding. The next time, they are learning how to play the piano. They are learning how to play the drums. They are learning, they are probably learning how to play football. They try it and, okay, it didn't work. Let me try this. And so by the time you probably get to your 20s, you actually have an idea what you really want to do and what you're good at. And so if I have a young person in front of me, that is also one thing I would encourage them to do, to explore. Take opportunities, volunteer as much as you can. I used to volunteer so much, but then now I find out that it actually helped me to become the person I am now.
Wow. How does your faith play a role in what you do? First of all, do you bring your faith to the work? If you do, how does your understanding of who you serve shape what you do?
Yeah, so I actually do bring my faith to work. And in the book, I also boldly spoke about my faith. My favorite chapter actually in the book is the closing chapter, which is the girl with God. So I wrote a letter to the girl, and I tried to speak about certain stereotypes and things that are around the girl with God. A girl with God prays and serves, but she works with integrity. A girl with God serves, but she works with hard work. You enter the boardroom because you see it as your worship. And he said, you are the light of the world. Let your light shine so the world may see. God. And so when you stand out there, it is not about what you do on Sunday. It is how you walk the faith, how your excellence shows. Because we serve a God that is excellent, a God that is perfect in all his ways. So why would you go to school and want to be the last on the list? And, the Bible talks about Daniel, and his friends excelled in all literature. So it means that you can excel in all literature. So I actually do bring my faith in everything that I do. And in the book also, I stressed on it, especially with the stereotypes of, you pray, and you're looking for work, you've prayed, but you've not submitted any CV, or your CV looks like something that will probably used to be sold, plantain outside. And so just trying to also build women of excellence, especially in the church. Like I mentioned earlier, it all started in the church. So building women of excellence and breaking that stereotype that, it's all about prayer and being clouded by religion, but also showing the excellence of what the religion exudes.
I love that you bring a balance to it, because I feel like in our community or in our society, it's either we're leaning on one side or the other. We're leaning way to the extreme of one. So don't do anything, pray. Pray. Everything will be sorted out. The other side also says you don't need God. All you need is your strength. Just work hard, grind, and hustle. But you are bringing a balance that you can hold both at the same time.
Exactly.
You can pray and be excellent. And that's actually the way to go. Beautiful. Let's talk about self-esteem. Let's talk about self-esteem, because I think this is a topic that young girls need to have mentorship on. And I feel that since you're writing to young women, you'll be addressing some of these things. Now, I have a niece. She's 5 years old right now. She's right here. She's called
so
Asida. Thank you. She's called Asida, right? And Asida, even as young as she is, sometimes she can say that, Auntie, if I do this, people will laugh at me. And I'm wondering, where in the world did she get that from? She'll wear something and feel like, no, Auntie, if I wear this, people will laugh at me. And it saddens me, because at this young age, she's thinking about what people will say. And it's like it's affecting her identity. Paulina, a lot of our women don't know who they are. And that can limit how far they aspire or how big they dream. What is the antidote to low self-esteem, in your opinion?
So, in my opinion, like I it's like you read the book. Okay, so we also talk about self-esteem. We talk about insecurities in the book. I open about certain insecurities that I also struggled with when I was in high school. And one of the things that I mentioned, especially in the back of the book, we have reflections where you get to reflect. One of the things is understanding who you are. and the purpose for who you were created. So that is where the foundation of our faith comes in, right?
Yeah.
You were created in God's image. Everything that God does is perfect. And so you as a person, you are already perfect and you have everything that you need to do. But we live amongst people, and people talking is something that you cannot stop them from talking. But one of the things that you can do is to protect your mind like a garden, like we mentioned.
Yes.
So how do you do that? I think one of the things that I would say is that being confident about yourself and not comparing. You are human, you will compare. But then when you look in the mirror, one of the things that you notice is that people look at all the things that can go wrong before they look at the things that can go right. And so in the book, I encourage them to write 3 positive affirmations about themselves, things that they like about themselves, and affirm those things every day. Okay, I am smart, I am beautiful. And then we talk about social media, making them understand that not everything you see outside is actually what it
Come
is.
on.
People would know. I don't think you will see people. It's just recently I see people post crying. You know, they put their camera, they put their camera on their face and they're crying.
My goodness.
But yeah, you would never see anyone post their troubles or their sadness. Everyone would make it look perfect. Life is perfect. Life is good. I'm traveling. I'm roaming around. You know, but everyone has something that you know they are dealing with. And so you ask yourself, that thing that I am insecure about, would it be the end of the world? If I do not exist today, would the world go on without me? If the world will move without you, that means it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And also we talk about, you know, body image. I shared how when I was in high school, I used to have like hormonal acne, and I would look in the mirror and sometimes I don't really feel confident about myself. But other times, and I thank God for the friends that I have. I remember there was a time that, you know, we're going somewhere. This was back in Hungary, and one of my friends, I was dressing up. I was like, I want to put makeup on my face. She was like, makeup or no makeup, you are beautiful just as you are. Aww. You know, and I've told her this one, but I've not mentioned it again. And that really boosted my confidence as a person. So I think that, you know, there's a way you can also be confident, but sometimes you'll be insecure about 1 or 2 things, right? And so you need to have positively affirm, what are the good things I like about myself? What is that thing that when people see me, they are like, oh, this girl is good. And then focus on that. And also we talk about being nice, the insecurities. If you see something about someone that is not something they can change, especially within 30 seconds, 100% of the time they are probably insecure about it already. So you don't talk about it. But then if it's something that they can change, like maybe there's something stuck in their tooth or maybe, then you can let them know. And so both ways we talk about how to, you know, be confident, how to walk in that image that you were created, how to focus on your positive skills, who you are, and also being kind. Because most times we might also be at the given end.
I know.
Telling people things, bullying, and we find this in schools, right? And so, yeah, it's like I'm giving all the gems in the book. We also talk about when identity becomes labels. You know, back in school, people would tease you, big head.
I know.
And so, or you are too quiet. And so when there's time for you to go do something and you can actually do, because people have said you are too quiet and timid, you sit back. Or maybe you are too loud. And so now there's an opportunity for you to show your talents. You're like, people will say I'm too loud and aggressive, so I will not go. So these are all the things that, you know, it is addressed, and we talk about insecurities. But I don't think it's a one-day topic and it's done. You need to keep encouraging the person. And I would also encourage the, you know, people around, especially young girls, you mentioned your niece, to positively affirm them, speak positively to them, you know, let them know that they are beautiful, they are perfect the way they are, and just encourage them. And if there's something they can change, like the way they dress, and we can help them out.
Right. Wow. Now, I watched a movie, and in the movie, it was said that when you speak kind words to plants, they blossom more beautifully. And then I was like, wow, if plants can blossom more beautifully if they hear nice words, how much more human beings, right? So you are exactly right about affirming people. Now, Paulina, how big do you think girls should dream? Do you think we can take on the world? Is it possible to aim high? I mean, people used to say that the sky is the limit. Do you think the sky is the limit? How big can we dream?
I think we can dream bigger than we think our dreams are big. Wow. I have a friend that says that if your dream does not scare you, then it's not big enough.
Whoa.
I grew up with my mom raising me because I lost my dad when I was 9 years old.
Sorry.
And so growing up in a home where you have siblings, and, you know, in the book I talk about it, school fees was like a prayer point because every time your name is on the list of, you know, people and all that. And I was just a little girl in Dansuman with no passport, but just had a dream to show up, a dream to take a risk. And today I work at JP Morgan. So why can't you do it? I've worked with ExxonMobil, and I remember I used to pray with my friend, and she's like, oh, she's going to work as a lawyer abroad. And I was like, I'm going to work in oil and gas abroad. And I didn't even have a passport, but I worked with oil and gas abroad, right?
Wow.
And so I believe that, like I said, your dreams, if they do not scare you, and just surrounding yourself with the right people, read. Your mind is not limited. It can take whatever you give it, right? Your potentials are not limited. Yes, people find themselves in places where they don't have the opportunities, they don't have access to these opportunities. But if you do have access, especially it breaks my heart when I find young people that come from opportunity, live in opportunity, and are not taking advantage of it. I'm like, you don't know. Like, you don't know what, you know, you've been blessed with. So yeah, dream. I don't think there is anything that should scare you as a woman. Some of the places I've entered, some of the rooms I've entered, I never believed I could. But yeah, it takes hard work and the grace of God, to be honest.
Oh, the grace of God. I love that you said that. Now, as that was, you know, taking a stroll, if you will, on Instagram, of your page particularly, I saw a quote that to this effect, it might not be exactly, it said that every young girl needs someone to look up to, and every girl can become someone people look up to.
Yeah.
What role does mentorship play in becoming who you were made to be? And how can young women around us find that right kind of mentorship?
Yeah, so I always define mentors as pathfinders. They are people that have already walked the path, and so they make your journey easier, right? If you have a mentor that has probably walked the path that you want to walk, they hold your hands to enter certain rooms. They show you, you know, certain mistakes that you can avoid. Maybe mistakes that they did that took them 2 years to achieve what they could achieve. It will probably take you 6 months to achieve that, because now you've been able to overcome those hurdles ahead of you. So I believe that mentorship is very important. We speak about that in the book, chapter 4. We talk about why mentorship is important, how girls can actually approach mentors, and then the different types of mentors, your peer mentors, right?
Okay.
And then you have life mentors, people that are not probably career related, but when it comes to life wisdom, they are people that can encourage you. So different stages of your life would show you what type of mentors that you can have and how they can approach mentors. And so we encourage them to observe, approach them, telling them, you know, maybe I followed you for a while, I really like you and I want to be your mentee, and then you go ahead. But I believe that, like you said, every girl can be a mentor to someone, and every girl needs a mentor, which also throws the ball to the older people that they are watching. Whatever you are doing, they are watching, right? And so you ask yourself, sometimes people make a statement that I'm not the one to come and mentor your daughter, or I'm not the role model for your child. But to be honest, that's not true, because we live in a society. If you are not a role model for that child, why would you pick the camera and come and influence? Who are you influencing?
Come on.
You call yourself an influencer. Who are you influencing then? You could have stayed in your room if you are not supposed to be a role model. But then the moment you put that tag on you, I think that you need to be also a little conscious about the people watching, because these kids are watching. And especially when you go on TikTok, sometimes it's sad, because then I don't really blame them, because I always say that it stems out of ignorance, because they feel like, oh, our bigger sisters can do it, why can't we do it? And so we can be better versions. Sometimes you feel it is too far away from you, so you don't care until it happens to your sibling, right? Your sister, your niece, your nephews. Yeah.
Wow. So mentorship is that important.
Yeah, it is.
It is that important. All right. Now let's talk about expectations, right? Because they are coming in from every corner. Parents are throwing this at you. Society is throwing it. Church is throwing expectations about who you should be. As a young girl who is in SHS, so they are not on their own. They are still under authority. They know they want to be this person. But mom and dad says, no, you're going to follow in these footsteps. Church says, no, we don't do that here. Do this instead. How can a young girl in the face of all these obstacles, if you will, and all these voices still break through and become who she was made to be?
Yeah, I really get that, especially coming from where we come from.
Right.
Everyone wants to throw expectations at you. Your parents want you to be something. The church wants you to be something. Society wants you to be something. The first thing I ask is, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Everyone wants you to be this, but who do you want to be? And I am happy that most of the conversations I also have, I do not limit it to just the kids. Like you said, they are under authority. So they can have a will, but those authorities can suppress it, right? And so sometimes we also do address our conversations to the parents, because I have seen situations, and it even happens abroad. It will surprise you that parents that have left the shores of Ghana living abroad, but they still would want their children to do what they want to do, because they've heard that this is what when you do here, you get money, that's and that. So most of the kids end up not living the dreams that they want to be. So sometimes if we have to go beyond to have conversations with the parents, which we do, because I have a mentee that her father actually reached out to me and said, this is what my daughter wants to do. I don't agree with her, but she said I should have a conversation with you. And so we do have conversations like that, and also using platforms like this, because obviously you cannot reach everyone. You cannot reach every parent, but whenever we have the platform, we do address the parents to encourage the children to live their dreams. We are not in the days where, it's just about being a doctor and engineer and all that. Children can be whatever they want to be, provided you give them the right resources, the right stepping stone. And so, for now, this is, to be honest, what we do. Try to encourage the parents. If we have to step in to have conversations with them, we do. And also using platforms like these and social media to just have conversations around it, and hoping that a step at a time, the ripple effect will go far to reach most parents.
It will. Okay, so now let's talk about the T?
The Confused Ambitious Girl.
Exactly. The tour, the SHS tour.
Yeah.
Is it still in effect?
Yes, we are starting tomorrow.
Wow. Yeah. And what? Don't tell me it's Holy Girl. Holy Child.
No.
Are you going to Holy Child?
No, funny enough, not yet.
Okay.
We would send some of the books over, but not yet. Holy Child is, we'll go there.
All right. So what's the first school you're?
So we're going to Accra Maman Senior High School and Ajen Kotoku, around Amasaman Municipality.
Right.
Yes, and so we would be going there. Those are the first two schools, and then we have some schools also lined up from now till next week.
And I mean, you said, because I know that the book was launched on 13th December last year, right? So have you been like touring since then?
No. So it was launched in Hungary, but then the audience is actually written for like senior high school students in Ghana and also Africa beyond. And so we decided to start from home, and then in the future we spread it Africa beyond and internationally.
Well, thank you for starting from home. We appreciate it. And have the schools been accommodating?
Oh yes, they've been accommodating. Some of the head teachers are a delight to work with. You can tell that they are very passionate about, the students doing well, having opportunities like this. So they opened their doors widely to us to come in, and some of them even insisted that we add the boys. So in the high school tours, and for some schools, we are not going to have only girls, because they said the message and the information would be also valuable to them, and so we need to add the boys. So
yes, please, justice for the boys. Okay, so let me ask you this. I mean, I have two more questions to ask, but let me start with this. You said you mentioned earlier that there are parents who can reach out to you for mentorship for their children. Is there something like you do?
Yes.
That anyone else can contact you for?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to us about that. What does he involve?
Okay, so we have I have an organization called EIM Learning and Development Consult, and we provide students with out of classroom experience. So we work on 3 pillars, right? Our 3 pillars: we have the Prep Me, the mentorship, we have workshops and internships. And so with regards to the mentorship, mostly it's just they reaching out to us and saying that, okay, I have a 13, 14-year-old girl and I really want her to do well. I want her to follow her path. But as a parent, I don't think I'm equipped enough to provide her with the knowledge that she needs.
Okay.
And the beautiful thing is that I don't have to necessarily be the mentor, because I have other females that are thriving, doing well, and they are also open to doing this. And so if it comes and it's not a field that I'm well versed in, then I would just give you to someone I feel like can help, but then following up and also making sure that the child has the best experience.
Wow. Well, parents at home, I hope you're hearing this. Reach out to Paulina. Okay, now, this question, and then we'll go to how we can get your books, right? After reading The Confused Ambitious Girl, what do you want that young girl to feel?
I want them to feel that they are enough. They are becoming. I want them to have clarity and direction. And I also want them to feel like they can actually do better than I have. So, yeah, in the book we talk about everything. I don't want to drop all the gems.
Please don't.
But then but we talk about everything, and also, girls, so relationship, all those stuff. We have conversations about. It's more like a business start having their conversations with them. Wonderful. And so I just want them to also have an idea that the world is an oyster for them to explore. And if they also need a big sister to hold their hand through it, then they can reach out. So in the book, we put our contacts, emails and everything. And surprisingly, I've had people reach out to me from even Uganda, Kenya. I was surprised. Yeah, some of my friends got it and sent it home to give it out to people. And I had one girl write me an email from Uganda that she read it and she was really motivated. And she's so happy. Now she's motivated to become someone. And, sometimes it's even adults. I've had adults working in companies and saying that this shouldn't have been written for young girls. Like, you should have addressed it to all of us, because it's actually a really good book. So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I pray it goes even further.
Amen.
Because it is a good book and everyone needs to have a hold of that. So now, talking about having a hold on the book, where can we find The Confused Ambitious Girl?
Okay, so in Ghana now, we're working on having them in libraries, but then we have a number that when you call, you would have it delivered to you ASAP. And also you can have it from Amazon. Okay. We have it on Amazon, so if the person is probably outside Ghana or a way that you can get it, then you can get it from there. So we have a number if you want me to.
Yes, please, go ahead.
So the number is 026 134 3702.
3702.
Yeah.
Please again.
026 134 3702.
3702.
Yes.
Well, it has been a wonderful conversation, Paulina, and I have to say it is very nice to meet you.
Same here.
I know people say it as a formality, but it's true. Very, very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And the things you've said, they've not only impacted the people at home, but we here in the studios as well.
Thank you.
My prayer is that God will take this book and send it to the nations.
Amen.
Everyone needs to have this. Everyone. And I love your heart behind this, because people write books so they can feel important. They can feel like they're achieving something in life, but you have a purpose. There's a heart behind it. I think it's brilliant. And God bless you so much.
Thank you, Jeremy,
for coming.
Thank you. And the team, thank everyone.
Thank you so much. Any last words for those listening at home?
Yeah, so I would just like to say thank you to everyone who has supported this high school talk project this far, especially because it's a lot. And, some people have come together to make sure that we have everything done, the finances, the prayer that has gone into it, the time, and just put in all the effort to make sure that it's Paulina that carries the dream and the vision, but we can push it because we also believe in impact, and we can be so. I'm using this platform and opportunity to say thank you to all our sponsors, our partners, and also the speakers that would be there tomorrow to impact in the life of these young people.
Wow. Well, that is Paulina Megase, our guest for today, and the author of The Confused Ambitious Girl. Mommy, daddy, sister, brother, everyone listening at home, you need to get this book, okay? We'll place a number on air once again so that if you need it, you can most definitely reach out. This is The Brightest Side with me, Jeremy, on Zed 101.9 FM. And it's sad to say, but this is where we bring the conversation to an end. But it is not the last time we'll hear from Paulina, because I believe strongly that this is just the beginning and we'll see more work from her. God bless her so much. God bless the team. God bless you. And you mentioned she brought her sister. She brought her sister. Please, do you want to say something? Please come. Our listeners want to hear you. Okay, so she can perhaps use this mic. Paulina, would you? Okay, right. She's beautiful, y'all. You need to see her. Hello.
Hi, Jeremy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
How does it feel to be here?
It really feels very surreal because I remember when we started this conversation about the high book tour. I think this one we were like, Grace is really tomorrow. Like,
my God.
Yeah. So we are really happy to be here, the opportunity to speak about her journey and the book and the life is going to impart. Personally, Paulina being my sister, I told this to one of my colleagues that she's like a mentor to me. I've never told her this, but it's worth having her as a sister, the advice, her thought process, her intentionality that she puts into the family. We are happy. I'm happy to have her as a big sister. And I remember personally my journey in school. Right. I remember when I was going to uni, I didn't know what program to study. And I'm like, I'm not really good with math. She's like, you like reading? Okay, let's look at marketing. Okay. I could picture where I was standing and we had that conversation and I applied to study marketing and I could, from now, I think that was actually what God wanted for me because now I'm working in communications and it comes natural to me and I look at where I started and I'm glad I had a sister that I could speak to who was asking the right questions for me and guided me into the program to pick, and it's been great. The journey has been great. I'm glad she has this book. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sisters like Paulina, right? It's beautiful. Yeah. Please, the name again.
Grace Megassi. Yeah.
Grace Megassi. Thank you all so much. Can we do something little? Paulina, if you could get close to the mic a bit.
Okay.
On 3, I want us to say the title of the book, okay?
Right.
So it's A Confused, Ambitious Girl, right?
Yeah.
Please get it. Those listening at home, please get it. So on my count, 1, 2, 3. The Confused Ambitious Girl. Thank you so much. The Brighther Side On Zed 101.9 FM. It is currently 45 minutes past 11, and we're loving it here in the studios of Zed. We have Paulina and Grace Megassi, and they're doing the book tour. Guys, please, let's back them up. This is a noble cause. It is still Lovers Rock Wednesday. We're serving you the finest Lovers Rock ever. Do stay tuned to Zed 101.9 FM. I'll be back to introduce your word for the day. Stay tuned.